Kitty.
What's up? Thank you for watching and listening. There's the cat's food, so it is time for the podcast to run off.
Where's my food, Brett?
I'm sorry. Should have brought your own.
We haven't eaten yet.
Yeah.
I already did bring it, and I've already ate it.
I have to eat too.
I'm a hungry boy.
Well, just to, I can't do this. I can't go in reverse.
It's too hard.
So hard.
I don't envy you right now.
Like and
Subscribe
to all of our
Check
things.
out all of our social medias at What the
Fanboy.
Fanboy. Go to whatthefanboy.com. We post all of our new episodes, videos, and our merch link is there.
Maybe we should get into the Fanbox now.
Yeah, we should.
Oh, I should pull up the Fanbox.
Yeah,
This is so awesome.
it's so hard to do.
A bit for the entire episode.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's gonna be great.
It's going to be a lot of fourth wall breaking.
If you
on
guys
this
didn't
bit.
see or didn't read the description,
We're doing our episode in reverse.
so yeah, that's why we started off with thanking and telling everyone where to go. Okay, so our first Fanbox and only Fanbox question is from Stephanie. Yes, that's my wife. She's hanging out upstairs.
Very nice.
She wants us to create our dream team for football since football's back now.
Football's back, baby.
Football's back. Create your dream team using video game characters from non-football games.
Okay.
So,
Do we just want to do like 3 players or skill players, or do you want to build an O-line, or how are we doing this?
Tyler, you're the football
So I have to come up with an
knowledgeable.
answer?
You have to come up with something. Well,
Okay.
I mean, we don't want to hang out too long
Okay,
here.
got this. This is easy. My O-line is the Delta Squad from the Gears franchise.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Lord.
My running back is going to be non-football games. Lucio from Overwatch.
Ooh.
He can give his whole team a
Alright.
speed boost. My quarterback is going to be... Oh, man, that's tough.
Somebody who throws and makes good play decisions in crunch time. Who's a good leader?
That's tough. I'll have Kratos be my quarterback.
Oh.
So a running quarterback.
He can throw that axe pretty well.
Good point.
It's true.
Now for receivers, I would take... No, timeout. Batman is my quarterback. That seems
yeah.
like a good choice.
That's a good choice. Shame on you for not picking
know.
Batman.
So my other running back then is Kratos.
Okay.
I'll stick
Fullback?
with Kratos. Yes. My receivers, I'll go with...
I feel like Sonic would be a good receiver. He's got that speed.
he'd be a good one.
one.
I'll have him. I'll have Miss Marvel from the Avengers game.
Oh, just with our hands.
She can stretch out and catch everything. And then I will have... Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of like a really good one. As a receiver.
I mean, I feel like
I can't even- at this
superheroes are kind of cheap, but like...
I can't even think of video
Like
games
Spidey-Man.
at this point.
I feel like the Flash would be too easy. Spidey would be too easy.
Spidey would be too easy, I think.
Gosh. It's hard. I want to say 04 Mike Vick, but I can't use football games. Jeff Samardzija, the pitcher for the Giants, on any MLB game, I'd have him be a receiver because he was a D1 wide receiver at Notre Dame, and he got drafted by both leagues.
All right, there we go.
So does he count?
I don't know.
Why not?
Stephanie, does that count?
Lepke says Tracer as a receiver.
Tracer that'd be a cheat code. Ooh, that'd be tough. Who would be the kicker? I won't choose a FIFA player. That's not fair.
Trying to think of games that use your feet, where you kick people.
A car from Rocket League.
Ooh, that'd be good. Another
The entire defense, just Ganondorf. No.
another receiver.
Calamity.
Another receiver possibility is just your character from Portal.
Oh,
Just throw a portal down.
hey.
Yeah, that's
See?
good too.
Or you could make a portal and throw the ball through it, and the
Ball
portal
comes out,
could put the ball right into another receiver's hands or in the end zone. You could just go like this.
Just drop it right in.
Just right there. Just touchdown.
Easy peasy. Cool. I like our team. Tyler's going to be thinking about this all night now.
He's going to be laying in bed. Who's the best wide receiver from video game?
Dude, Octane would be really good too.
Ooh, Octane would be good.
He's fast.
And he got that jump pad.
He's got to jump.
Throw that down.
Dude, yeah. Octane's definitely a receiver. I'll lose the superhero on that one.
All right.
I'll lose Miss Marvel and switch in Octane.
I like it.
I feel like that's fair.
Good. Very good.
And if I need one more O lineman, give me Gibraltar.
Okay.
I feel like
yeah.
Samoan guys are crazy at football.
Oh my gosh.
so.
I love me running some Gibraltar. So
That was hard.
that was hard. I was gonna say Jibby.
I'm glad you
and then
took
I was
most
like, I
of
don't
the
know if
effort
that's
on that one.
appropriate. I don't know.
Me?
It's just
Yeah.
I saw it earlier and I started thinking about it, so I was kind of prepared for it.
All I had was Sonic.
I saw football and was like,
I love football.
all right, what's our next question?
So our next question, also from Stephanie, if you could make anything happen with a snap of your fingers, what would it be?
See ya, COVID.
That was gonna be mine.
I was going to say I want a taco. Taco.
Just one though, not like a bunch of tacos.
It's a really good taco. And you don't want to overdo it.
the best taco, and only the best taco will do.
Shows who's the selfish one here.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not gonna deny that. It's okay, Luke.
Man, now I just really want a taco. Dang it.
Maybe we get some Grubhub.
Dude, call
No,
it in.
then I have to pay. I want to snap and I want it to be there.
No, call it in, have them like put on your directions, walk down the stairs backwards and deliver.
And snap.
So I'll do a selfish one since Tyler took the really good one, which would be that all of the movies that are scheduled are just coming out VOD or on streaming services and not going to keep getting delayed.
That would
There's
be nice.
mine.
They're going to run out of stuff to put on the services eventually.
Yep.
Nothing's been filmed. Nothing can come out. What you going to do, Netflix?
Nobody.
Oh, I feel like Netflix will be fine, actually.
They probably, yeah.
They got
They've
stuff
got
on the
enough.
shelf from 2 years ago. They're like, I guess we'll put this out. It's going to get panned, but
Warrior Nun.
is it good?
I don't know. But I guarantee you they didn't plan on putting that out for a while.
Doesn't need to be good.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Good point.
Just needs to keep people watching. Speaking of watching things,
We watched something. I keep forgetting we're going backwards.
all three of
Yeah, that
us
was really confusing.
went to a theater, practiced safe social distancing.
I felt
wore
safer at
masks.
the theater than at work.
I'm gonna be honest. I felt safer at the theater than I have going into Lowe's or
Yeah,
any
it's crazy.
any kind of department store.
Yep.
Not that I go often, but like I can't. Lowe's doesn't do pickup, contactless, pickup things like I can do it with my groceries.
Here's your 18 rows of sheetrock.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Just load on the trailer. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all went and saw Unhinged.
Best movie ever.
No. We did not see that as much
we-
as Russell Crowe would have liked us to.
Yeah, we did not see that one.
Did we see the New Mutants?
No, we did not see that one either.
Oh.
Maybe in another timeline somewhere.
In the darkest timeline.
If I go back in time, I might watch it.
How do
Gonna
I
go
know
back
you're not
in
living in this moment twice?
Yeah.
I just reversed my entropy there.
Uh-oh.
Big words.
Are we spoiling things?
All right, so we
No,
watched
okay,
Tenet.
good.
The reversal is in the trailer.
Yeah, I just didn't know if we were going to. I figured I'd ask.
Oh, are we going to spoil the
Yeah.
movie? I hope so. Otherwise, I won't really have too much to talk about, I feel like.
We'll have a little spoiler-free discussion, and then we'll have some spoilers, which will be clearly marked either in the chat if you're on YouTube, or if you're listening to it, I'll put some notes in the show notes so you can go and find the time codes
And
to
avoid
when to
it.
skip to. If you really want to avoid spoilers for Tenet, I don't think even if you understand spoilers, it will help you understand this movie.
Yeah, I think there's really only one spoiler thing that it'd be quick.
Yeah.
I don't need to spend a lot of time on it. And a lot of people haven't been able to see this movie.
Yeah.
Theaters still aren't even open some places, and some people don't want to go.
Yeah. So in any case, let's start with non-spoilers. We may hit some quick, light spoilers.
At some point,
you'll know. Spoiler-free impressions, guys. What is the first thing you walked out of Tenet thinking? I'm curious.
Ouch, ouch, my ears. Good God, my ears, they hurt. Also, that was pretty cool there at the end. That's one of my thoughts. Not exactly those.
Part of me wishes you could have done that backwards. Like,
that was pretty cool at the end. Ouch, 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 my ears. Ouch, ouch.
yeah, but like,
Like that.
Honestly, I think my impressions walking out were the way I felt about it is the movie was more simple but confusing than it needed to be. Like I kind of made this comment to Luke after we watched it. The line in the Justice League movie when Barry Allen says that feels like an oversimplification. That's kind of how I feel about this movie. I feel like it's hyped up to be really confusing, and so they just kind of make it confusing for the sake of making it confusing. Yeah. But I don't think it's actually that confusing.
I feel like the confusion doesn't come from the plot or the inversion.
No.
Yeah. No,
the confusion comes from bad movie making.
There's some interesting choices that are made that do make this movie feel
more complex
than it is or it needs to be.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. My initial thought coming out of this was so I watched this separately from you guys. Luke had told me to wear earmuffs and I didn't, so my ears were also bleeding.
We were trying to warn him.
We also saw it in IMAX, which is louder than...
I saw it twice in IMAX.
You're crazy.
Normally I'd approve, but not for this one. I wouldn't. I'd say avoid IMAX.
I went with a friend.
No, I walked out of this movie thinking, I wish I liked this more. Because the more I think about it, the more I like the concept, and I just hate the execution.
Mm-hmm.
Hate's a strong word. I don't hate the execution.
Extreme disappointment.
It is. There are aspects of the film, especially when it comes to narrative, that I feel like Nolan is just trying to one-up himself from the last 20 years, and the entire film suffers because of it, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll echo absolutely your guys' statements on the audio mix was really loud. It was really...
The sound mixing is just bad.
It's just bad.
There's no other way to put it.
Like,
it's bad.
I for whatever reason, Interstellar didn't bother me.
Interstellar, for me, was hard to hear.
Can you hand me a tissue?
Yeah.
Are you crying?
No, I'm bleeding.
Oh, even worse.
I scratched my leg.
Oh, from when you're sliding. Interstellar was normal loud, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But the problems with the audio was sometimes you couldn't hear what they were saying.
Yeah.
And the science in that movie is kind of important.
Yeah.
But it wasn't overbearing sound that just hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the first time, I think, since I was a child. Actually a child, not how I am a child now. Where plugging my ears in the movie theaters. I haven't done that since I was probably 10. It was like too much.
It's really unfortunate because it takes away, especially the first scene, which if you had seen, they kind of showed it last year in front of some movie. I don't remember which one it was. Probably some Warner Brothers movie, right?
Yeah.
In IMAX. it was an extended scene. But kind of the cold open of the movie it's really well shot. I think it's well acted. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of facial acting going on. It's an action scene, but it's for Christopher Nolan, who I don't think is as good of an action director as some other, like, he does things really well. Action is not his forte. I thought this was a really good Chris Nolan action scene, but I was so distracted by every bullet that was just a bomb.
Yeah.
And then you have the drums from the soundtrack come in too. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm really enjoying this soundtrack, and then instantly you're not.
Yeah.
Because it just keeps you off guard. Just, But for me, to keep it sweet and short of overall thoughts, first half, absolute mess. Did not like it at all. I think there's some cool stuff in there, but I'm so annoyed and confused that I just did not enjoy it. I remember I looked over at you and I was like, I do not like this. I don't know what's happening. Mm-hmm. And then there's a point halfway through where they finally let that stuff go. All the exposition, which is Nolan's problem already of just over-explaining. But in this movie, it's every scene, they explain it again. And it's something different, I feel like. But it's not about inversion. It's about what they're doing. Yeah. And you can't hear it.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay. Then they get to the action part of the movie. And I was like, this is cool stuff. And I ended up having fun. Mm-hmm. Didn't really care about the plot anymore. What I was visually given. Big fan.
Sure. Yeah. Tyler?
Don't throw rocks at me here. I think, to me, this was the most, outside of the Dark Knight trilogy, this was the most, like, open and shut Nolan movie I think I've seen.
All right. That was real short and sweet.
I shouldn't have said mine was going to be short and sweet. I should never probably say that.
No, you shouldn't.
I'm trying not to lead on too much.
Sure. Yeah. And Luke and I are probably just like throwing spoiler things out there without even realizing it. Yeah.
We are going backwards.
I was going to say, we'll just go back in time and we'll fix it.
I think for me, Nolan, my favorite movies of Nolan's tend to be the ones that have good characters. And this movie has one good character. And the problem is he's not really a character. This movie is all about scene to scene movement, but not necessarily about how characters evolve.
Yeah.
Which is fine. A character does not have to have an arc, but I still think you'd need to have interesting characters in your movie to make me care about your movie.
You mean protagonist wasn't interesting enough for you?
I asked Tyler at the end, I was like, what was his name?
I looked it up, and it's
the protagonist.
His name is actually Protagonist. And I was like, what?
He's not given a name. And I think this just is a thing that Nolan is doing to...
Surprised his name wasn't Robin.
Give him... I think Nolan's at the point in his career where he really enjoys being clever, and no one is going to correct him or give him a studio note on it, unfortunately. Because I think John David Washington is really good with what he's given. I just don't care
honestly,
about...
everybody was good to really good.
No one, I don't think there's a bad performance in this film. I just don't care about any of them.
Yeah,
unfortunately. Yeah, I think one of my top pros was just Protagonist and Neil, even though they're not really developed, which I think there's some interesting reasoning behind that.
Sure. Well, and when you get into a film that has the kind of twists that this does, it is, part of the fun of the Prestige is like not really knowing who anyone is throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I think what you see differently in the Prestige is you see those characters moving through life still linearly, and this movie just cannot handle being linear at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so far in that the core mechanic of the movie is like, how do we interact with time non-linearly?
Yeah.
And that makes it really hard. I just think, yeah, that's
Luke said something to me, and I may have mentioned this right after the movie ended. Luke made a comment that I think Luke and I's opinion of the movie are very different, but Luke said something that I think is really accurate, and he said that Nolan just got greedy.
I think,
and I think
kind of like with your cleverness too.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
I think he finally was like, okay, how far can I push things before people start to not like what I do? And eventually it's gonna like the problem is it's gonna take him to bomb a movie for like anything to change.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep taking and taking. It's like give him an inch, he'll take a mile.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Which is unfortunate because I feel like his best movies are the ones that are
the most grounded.
Yeah, like Interstellar is a wild movie, but that movie is like all based in actual science theory and fact.
Yeah, he had someone there who would tell him no.
Yeah. And then like, I mean, you have the Batman movies. Those are superhero movies.
You can only do so much, right?
Yeah.
Like he had a lot of reign on that, but there's still someone there to pull him back.
Mm-hmm. And then I think probably the one that almost nobody has seen, Insomnia and Dunkirk. Not my favorite, but those are his best movies. They're really tight. Everything is really specific, especially in Insomnia. There's nothing with time. It's just a murder mystery and a character is hiding something. That's it. I want that again. I don't need all this wild nonsense. You can throw in something like Inversion. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But for me, what it all comes down to is those 4 letters. Keep it simple. Stupid. I love it. Don't overdo it. I feel like he's, in the first half, really, he's just adding too much in it.
There's a lot.
Too much, like...
There's a lot of... And when you say adding too much in, there's a lot of redundancy in this movie, too.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really frustrating. Like, there's one scene in particular where the sound mixing is, I think, the worst, and it's the sailing scene.
Oh.
Right after... That's exactly what it sounds like, with water crashing behind it. And so right after that scene, the conversation that takes place that you don't hear any of is had in literally the next scene.
Yeah.
The exact same conversation. And it's like, we could have not had the sailing thing.
Yeah.
We could have gone without it. Granted, it was cool, because I've never seen a sailboat do that before, but I didn't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think, too, a thing that might hurt it for me... Also, I should say, like, I did enjoy this movie. I feel like I'm bashing it, but...
Like, it was the first time I went to the movies in, like, 8 months. I was super stoked, and I still did have a good time, all in all.
I may not be like, woo, but I'm a woo. Is that a new scale? No, I think...
Woo on the woo scale.
I think there's too many characters. Like, you have your 2 main heroes, your main hero and his buddy, and you've your villain and the love interest and her son, and all the, like, keep adding new people along the way. So, like, condense that a little bit so I can know who these people are. Like, halfway through, you finally meet the army dudes. You finally meet Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Who's really good in this.
Yeah. He's great.
He's awesome.
But, like, Elizabeth Debicki's character, I didn't really care about what she was going through. I found her and, like, her story kind of frustrating. But then also at the beginning, you have, I don't know her name, I don't know the actress's name. You have this Q person in this Bond movie who explains the twist. I would have combined those roles somehow. So it's just less people. I thought she's going to be in the rest of the movie, and she's in that one scene, and she's gone.
There's a number of...
Clemence Posey?
Well, and I think, so, when we talk about characters in film and narrative, with how loose Nolan is playing with linear time and narrative structure, I think it's just hard to give enough people like impact. Because at the end of the day, like, there's really only a couple people who matter. So, like, we don't really get a name for, like, the first 10 people we meet. Like, I don't even know if, like, the first name might be the wife.
Elizabeth Debicki's?
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
But
Catherine.
Catherine.
Also,
right.
it's been 2 weeks since I've seen it.
Yeah. So
I thought the first name was Neil.
Neil. Oh, that's probably true.
Neil, then Michael Caine, then Elizabeth Debicki.
Oh, yeah, Michael
Michael
Caine is
Caine's
in
in
this.
this.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Sir Michael.
I think what at least Luke and I are saying. I'm sorry, Tyler. I'm not sure on you. For me personally, though, I think the supporting cast is kind of
Kitty cat.
clubbed at the knees in this movie, and they do well with what they're given. They're not that interesting, and they're not given that much. Other than Neil and Catherine. I think Neil and Catherine are probably the strongest supporting characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, do we want to talk about our villain? Can we talk about our villain without spoiling anything?
Maybe a bit.
It's the... yeah. I don't know. It's the first Kenneth Branagh movie I've seen where I didn't hate him.
I just have a problem
he
liking
plays-
in anything.
He plays very dislikable characters,
Yes.
though.
But I didn't hate his character in this. I don't like him in anything I think I've seen him in, but I didn't think he was bad in this. I thought he was fine. He was serviceable.
I didn't want to spoil something, so...
I like his character. I wasn't convinced by his motivation.
Okay, yeah,
it's
I
weird.
hated his plan.
I think
so stupid.
Yeah, his plan is probably my biggest problem.
him as kind of like this like terrible person, I bought. That was fine.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah, he seemed like a gangster.
how he treated
Like an arms dealer.
his
Yeah.
wife, and how, like that stuff, good. That was
Believable.
Where it fell off for me was all of a sudden like, why is he doing this?
Yeah.
I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's a large part of the finale hangs on that. And
Do you need a medic?
do you need some Band-Aids, man?
No, I'm good.
The belief that like I don't know that he'll go through like
I know
yeah,
what you want to say, but it's
yeah.
spoilery. I get it. It's the worst part of the movie to me is his motive.
but
His motive is so stupid.
To me, it reminded me actually of like... I don't think it was as bad as The Old Guard, but like, he's the villain, so he needs to have a villainous motive. Like, I'm the bad guy, so I'm going to have to do this bad thing because I'm bad.
Did you think Skeletor ever? 'Cause it's all I can think about when I think about his motive. Because of what you just said. I have to do something bad because I'm the bad guy in this one.
Bury the platypus.
what about we kind of hinted at it earlier, and again, without getting too deep into spoilers, how did you feel like the execution of inversion?
I think it works fine.
That was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
I think it works fine.
Those action scenes. Oh, ooh,
Yeah.
red, blue.
Yeah.
One thing I think Nolan does really, really well is set something up early and then come back to it. And he does it a lot. And there isn't like a scene that it's not used in. There is, but in pretty much any big scene in this movie, you can count on there being something that you're going to see again in the second half of the movie.
Yeah. That's super cool.
And it's really cool. I think it's maybe a little overdone, but that said, it's executed fantastically. There's a scene when they're in this vault,
Oh,
and
man.
they're fighting
that scene
these,
is so good.
these, there's like all of a sudden there's this surprise. There's people in the vault with them when they weren't earlier, and there's kind of a tussle. And going back and seeing that scene later from a different perspective is really, really cool.
Yeah.
I wish we I wish there was a way, and maybe just on second viewing I'll understand it more. The finale. I feel like the finale is just so busy that I kind of got lost.
That's when it came to inversion. I was just like, okay, they're doing that and they're doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to worry about it. Nope.
It was really fun.
There's
really
the line
fun
in
to
the beginning of
watch.
the movie. Don't try and understand it. Just accept it.
Yeah.
As it pertains specifically
See, but I
to
understood
inversion.
But I understood things when I got to revisit them.
Yeah.
And I feel like because we don't get to really revisit this, there was just so much going on that it
And
was
there's
hard to understand.
flip-flopping a lot.
There is some flipping and some flippy flopping.
And there's some unclear things that I noticed the second time watching it that they don't really address very well. Specifically with Catherine and her third act stuff. Like the second time I watched it, I was like, wait, that doesn't make... Oh, I guess it makes sense. Like there's a lot of moments like that where you're like, no, well, okay, yeah, it works.
Yeah.
And the first time I watch it, I think you're so caught up in everything that's happening that you don't even notice that, like, oh, that could be a huge, but maybe not. Like, it just does enough to check itself that it still works.
Yeah.
But you could also still be like, no, that doesn't make sense. So it's like, it really just depends, I think, almost where you want to land on it. Like, if you want it to be a huge plot hole to you could make a case for it to be. And I think that's kind of an issue.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think Nolan often skirts that line of like,
oh yeah,
just ignore it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And a lot of people these days just
Spend a lot of time thinking about it.
How the internet is and how we process the things we love, we do spend a lot of time thinking about it, and so those things do become a little bit more of like a thorn in the side.
Yeah. I'll wait till we get into spoilers, but if you watch it again, I think there's another lens to watch this movie through that makes it a lot better.
Should we talk about spoilers, or do we want to do some final thoughts and then we'll go into spoilers?
Do like pros and cons in our ratings?
Yeah.
Sure.
I wrote them down somewhere.
I'll do my pros real quick. My pros were the action and the verse scenes. The soundtrack, even though it's loud, it's really good. And then I really like John David Washington and Robert Pattinson.
Cool. Moving on. What are yours? Because mine are the same.
High fives.
Just went right down the line.
Yep.
I shouldn't have. You should have stopped me.
Well, you said mine backwards.
Oh.
So I guess I could read mine forward. Protagonist Neil, the action, and the score. I'll stop on the score. So I thought I was going to miss Hans Zimmer doing a Nolan movie. I didn't miss it one bit.
No.
I didn't miss it at all.
Same.
Goranson crushed it.
Yeah.
Plus, we'll get that Zimmer Dune score.
And Wonder Woman score.
Yeah, I would.
We win by that.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't lose here.
No, this is all winning. Yeah, so I would agree with you guys. Score, John David Washington, and what was your? Sorry.
Action.
Yeah, I think this is Nolan's best action movie to date.
Yep.
I feel like
for sure.
he wanted to prove he could do action a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then
he
he
did.
just threw in a crazy concept to go with it.
Yeah.
Make it even
I'll
harder.
also throw in there cinematography. There's the flip side of that coin is editing.
Yes. I thought there was some very, very strange editing in this movie.
And editing is editing for me. I'm gonna lead off with that as one of my cons.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's weird because I didn't have this as a pro or a con. It was neutral right there.
Yeah.
I felt like the action stuff, it's so hard. I don't understand. I could really edit it. So I'll give them some slack there.
I
don't know how they filmed it.
I was going to say, I don't know how they filmed
They
it.
had to like run backwards.
Right. But like, how do they... Because they did that so they could reverse things. So it's like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I can't wrap my head around that, how they make that happen.
Yeah.
But like with the editing, I felt like in some just conversational scenes, they just go to a person and be like, why am I looking at this random person who's not speaking? And then they go back really quick, like they just left something in, and I was just like, that was weird. but the action stuff is really good, so it's not a con.
That's fair.
Neutral statement.
I have 2 cons. One we've already addressed, and that's sound mixing.
Sound mixing, yeah.
It's just terrible. There's no other way to put it. Part of me wonders how much of that is due to probably mixing this movie at home.
I just feel like it's a professional.
That's true. You got to figure it out.
Not an excuse in my mind.
There's lots of people that edit sound at home.
Right. You never know. My other thing is I think the movie's inflated.
So one of my cons is writing, and and more than simply dialogue, because I think there's some bad dialogue, but I think most of it's fine. It's just like what you mentioned earlier, the amount of exposition and how that makes it. I'm just using your bloatedness as a jump off here, as to highlight one of my negatives, which is I just feel like it's maybe a little overstuffed with.
There's too much
with stuff, and if you can edit your sound mix better, then you don't have to repeat things. And maybe you lose the sailboat scene, but do you really need the sailboat scene? No, because nothing of actual impact happens in the sailboat scene.
There's one thing that happens, and you can easily write that in some other way. I think.
It's
with
there
how
for
how
one
cunning
reason.
protagonist is, they could have done it another way.
Yeah.
They didn't need that scene.
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked a lot about mine.
Which are, just real quick?
The first half.
Okay.
The sound mixing. The character development. The villain.
Yeah.
I'm tired of Michael Caine showing up in Nolan movies.
Also, don't have him eat while he's talking.
I couldn't understand him because he was eating, and
his accent
when
was on there
somebody
thick.
this was probably my only problem with Interstellar. He shows up and you go, "That's Matt Damon." You don't go, "That's Dr. Mann." You go,
Right.
"That's Michael Caine. He's in all of Nolan movies." Congratulations, Nolan trivia. You nailed it.
You've now been removed from the movie.
Yeah. I need a break. Just take him out of the next one. Then put him in the next one. We'll go
He's
back.
probably filmed all of his Nolan movie scenes that Nolan's written him in for.
Yeah.
He's just done the Stan Lee green screen for his cameos.
Let's bring it back this way. Luke, what's your rating?
You guys go first.
Tyler, what's your rating?
I need to
Fanboy
hear-
worthy.
Okay. Mine's Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
And that hurts.
I was wondering. I didn't want to say it first. Mine's Matthew McConaughey too.
This movie is a fanboy worthy, except for the sound mixing in and of itself brings it down a whole level for me.
You know, if I could have watched this at home, I bet it'd be a fanboy worthy.
Probably.
I can pause.
You can always go back and change it.
I would have had
That's the thing.
subtitles on, and
Oh, yeah.
I would have had it
yeah.
turned down so my ears weren't bleeding.
I would have just been on the volume going.
You're probably right. I probably would have given this a fanboy worthy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
We'll have to re-review it, I guess.
Yeah. Oh darn.
At home video,
Home
yeah,
video.
for sure.
I give it a 2 out of 2 though. I didn't like it.
Important distinction.
2 out of 2.
All right, so real quick, do we want to hit some spoilers ahead?
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Just real quick,
A couple of them.
Give a couple minutes. I'll put some stuff in the chat.
I'll comment on your guys' spoilers, but here's my first spoiler. If you watch this movie through the lens that it is a rediscovery, it changes things
Rediscovery of
for protagonist.
Like
Because he's already lived it.
Okay.
Okay.
But has he already lived it? I thought the whole point of Neil's thing was that
Well,
it
Neil's
already
reliving it
happened.
again. Right. Neil's reliving it again. That's why at the end he's in the room twice.
This is why you don't do time travel.
Yeah. Yep.
Now we have Back to the Future logic, we have Endgame logic, and Nolan logic. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah, because Neil's in the final moment, I think, 3 different ways. He's the guy on the ground, 2 different ways. He's the guy on the ground, and he's the guy who runs down the tunnel and opens the door.
I thought he had to go back.
That's why he ran back at the end, because he's like, I gotta open the door for you.
I gotta open the door
and
for
die.
you.
Yeah. Right, he's there twice, though.
Yeah, I saw that the first time.
Right, but Neil's living everything twice.
So everyone's living everything twice? multiverse theory.
Yeah, it gets. Oh, and that's why they have the conversation in the shipping crate.
Yeah,
about the paradox.
The paradox. It's
Yeah.
a paradox.
Yeah. But I think it's cool if you watch it through the lens that it's a rediscovery for protagonist.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give that a shot next time.
It's an interesting way to look at it.
I'll have to think about it. So my biggest hang up with the logic of this movie, and I know that the movie itself tells you to try and not be logical, is that apparently they have machines that can invert things.
Like the vault?
Yeah.
The vault. They have vaults.
The turnstiles? Yeah.
So why do you even... the whole burying things in...
Oh, yeah, that's
Ukraine.
I don't understand that part.
Russia, wherever they are.
That part is so weird to me.
You need it.
It communicates with the future.
You need it because it's otherwise you can't have the awesome action scenes because you have to have entire people moving invertedly. But then do you really need all of the setup? I don't. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just.
Yeah.
It's a cool mechanic. I just don't understand how it exists.
That kind of goes back to it being inflated. There's just too much.
Yeah.
There's too much going on.
Yeah.
Because there's even the line earlier in the movie from the I want to say Indian, but that's probably not right. Who's the
lady?
The lady, the mobster, who's like, we don't have the technology to do inversion yet. That's why they send it back to. And clearly, you do have the technology to invert things. But
she tells him later she was lying to him when he's walking outside that mural down the brick road. He's like, "You lied to me." She's like, "We like don't trust us or something." And then he's like, "You lied so I'd get the other pieces together so he'd have them all."
That doesn't solve the problem of...
No, it doesn't. But she, like, blatantly lies the whole movie. She's, like, an unreliable narrator.
Sure. Okay. So at this point, then, they are just... Maybe we, in the current time, don't have the technology to build the bomb that the future is sending back. I guess.
Yeah.
That's got to be the only explanation.
The only way it works, yeah.
Okay.
It's weird.
Luke, what's your spoiler thing you want to talk about?
I hated that he wanted to kill himself because he was dying and he wanted to kill the world with him.
Yeah, that was dumb.
I thought that was the most stupidest villain plot device. It's like I stood with his wife. He's like, if I can't have you, nobody can.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would carry over to the whole movie though.
And then he's like, if I can't be alive, nobody can. And it's like, okay. What?
Yeah.
But
that doesn't get better on the second viewing. That is still just as dumb the second time.
I rolled my eyes so hard when they started talking about it. I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that is the actual thing he's trying, like the plot he's trying to move forward or backward.
You know the one thing I still don't understand is she shoots him early still, and like there's no consequence for it.
Oh yeah. This movie has...
Like I don't understand. Like it just it goes back to being inflated. It felt like a manufactured drama piece for Elizabeth Debicki to handle.
Yeah.
That didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like you could probably cut her character and still have the same outcome.
I think the challenge that Nolan was trying to face is I don't want to have just another Bond girl. I want to have someone who has...
So make her kneel.
Well...
I said make her the Q lady, and she can be the person that's explaining the science to him. And they just keep that role in there. Q is a great character in Bond. Here's all the cool gadgets, but give Q, a female Q, a bigger role instead of just, here's a car. Also, if you drive backwards, you'll go forwards, but you'll be going forwards but backwards. It's wild. Science.
I did like with Catherine's character.
Channing Tatum.
Some of the melancholy there at the end when she realizes that the woman that she was lamenting over was herself. I thought that was kind of cool.
I think I would have thought it was cool, but when she said it, I knew it was going to be her. just from time travel logic. When it's a time travel movie, if somebody sees somebody that they don't recognize and somebody says, if you see yourself, something wild can happen, you go, everybody's going to see themselves at some point.
But nothing really ever
And that
comes
was like
from
the
it.
specific moment she mentioned.
Yeah. Well, and
then you have the moment, too, when you first have the first inversion fight where Neil's like, oh, I'm not going to fight you because I know who you are.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, that was the protagonist.
Did it really bother anybody else that the first time they fight in the vault, their masks are all blacked out, and then the second time they're not?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
That bothered me so much. It's like,
I think it just
such an
bothered
easy
me
detail to
more
fix.
Yeah.
that we were at another Nolan movie where characters are wearing masks and talking.
I feel like the only logical way to get him out of that is to have him direct the Mask remake.
For this, sure. But for this movie's logic, just don't explain that you're
Make it so
breathing
you don't
backwards.
have to breathe.
Like, oh, you're breathing out in carbon dioxide and breathing in out oxygen, and it could kill you, and everything's freezing, and if something happens, you could die immediately. It's just, you're moving backwards. Just say it. Don't over-explain it. You told us not to overanalyze it in the movie, and then you go and over-explain everything.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, he...
Follow your own advice, Nolan. He's his own worst enemy.
Well, I think
He's too smart for his own good.
The trouble with a lot of writer-directors, maybe just writers in general, is that...
Yeah, be careful with the writer-director. Your boy Ryan Johnson's one of those.
I know. But when it comes to complicated subjects, they've spent so much time looking at it that they understand it already. Like,
they don't think that
you
audiences
have to
won't.
take in, like, if someone is seeing this for the first time, and I know that you're gonna have a studio run these things by people continually to see how they, like, here's
Did this get
here's
test
someone new.
audiences?
I don't know if this one did, but
I wonder if that's another reason sound didn't
But
get changed.
internally, they have groups of people who will screen it, will read the script to go over it, and provide some feedback. And yeah, I feel like this is a case of Nolan not getting checked enough by studios, and him thinking he knows so much about what he's writing about that, yeah. But I don't know. He just doesn't see that the over-explaining is actually a bad thing.
Yeah.
Scene that I, again, didn't really understand, but I thought it was really cool, was the bit where Brana's moving backwards and our main characters are going forwards, and they go into, like, the torture scene.
Yes.
And they're on the inverse side, and they're on the normal side. Mm-hmm. And you see all this thing happening backwards, and you're just like, what?
That's like the
and then
first
he
time
comes
it
through and he's
again.
on this side, but then he's like going forward on the other side too, because he's still moving backwards.
Mm-hmm.
But to go through there, over here he was going forward, like, and then you have people talking backwards and translating it through, and I didn't understand really what they were saying. Once again, couldn't hear it, and then I was just like, this is so cool.
It's a really, really well done scene.
Yeah.
It might be my favorite scene.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
That's
pretty
the
strong.
point in the movie where I started going, you know what? I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna have fun.
But I'm
this
enjoying
is
what
awesome.
I'm seeing. So
I think there were several times in the movie I was just like, this is wild, man.
Yeah, there was
Like,
there were several
what?
times where you and I looked at each other like, this is crazy.
There was a couple times too when like nothing would be happening, and there'd just be that. We'd be like,
Yeah. this
Here we go.
movie absolutely tips off every big moment. It's like the music changes and you're like, oh yeah.
and I thought it was funny in the first half. There's the whole plane bit, and I was like, it was kind of boring. And then it comes back, and it's like all backwards. And I was like, well, except for the fight scene in the hallway, that was cool. But like the plane crash is like, dink.
yeah, it's like
Like,
and when you know a little bit about the movie, you're like, they actually crashed a real plane for this
Through a building?
through a building. But this is all we're getting, and then they come back and like, okay, no, I get it now.
Yeah.
yeah. But like, and then you see it all backwards, and I was like, this is awesome. You can see the
Yeah.
other perspective of the same fight. I was like, yes.
Yeah, it's
I think
it's
that
awesome.
might be my favorite scene, when you just like
The
you've
second
already
time?
seen it and you
Yeah.
get to see it backwards, but forwards. Just
Yeah.
depends what person you're watching.
Yep.
I thought that was so cool.
Very cool. Over in the chat, Battle Rifle thinks that this movie was awesome as hell.
I love it.
And he also agrees that the music was on point.
Yep.
You don't mention loudness. We still think it's a little loud, but you're right. It was on point.
It's not a little loud. It's very loud. It is very, very loud.
All right, shall we move on to news?
Yeah, we should.
I forgot we're going backwards. I was like, oh, we're going into Fanbox. This is a quick episode. It's 8:50.
We'll fly through this news.
My contact is ripping, boys.
That's not good.
I'm upset. I need
Good
to go
thing
to
we're
the eye
going
doctor.
backwards. You can just let it go back together.
It'll heal itself, right?
All right, should we read our news from bottom to top?
Ours are probably all in different orders.
That's true.
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't. Go ahead.
I'll do some quick little ones first.
Okay.
All DC related. Wonder Woman's delayed until Christmas. It's gonna keep happening. Just delay it till June next year. That's what I say.
Put it on my birthday.
Yeah, do that. And also, there was another DC fandom this weekend. I didn't really pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But Doom Patrol Season 3 is a go at HBO Max. And also, Young Justice Phantoms, which is Season 4, is a go. I don't know if they said HBO Max or not for that.
I didn't see anywhere where it said anything for platform.
It's just happening.
Is it going back to Netflix?
YouTube. No, I feel like they definitely do Max.
It'll be HBO Max for sure.
Still no word on
Harley Quinn or Titans.
They have three
Well, they have
coming
Titans
out.
season 3. Yeah, it's not even started. That's true.
Harley Quinn will get another season.
Harley Quinn will get another season.
It's so cheap to make, and it's probably the most popular show on.
Well, they had that.
DC Universe.
Yeah, they had something at the other fandom.
At the big one,
little
yeah.
Q&A thing.
Like, hey, we're still here.
I don't think you'd do that if you were going to cancel
They keep
it.
joking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they didn't do that for Swamp Thing because it got canned.
R.I.P.
Oh, man. Swampy.
Bring Swamp Thing back. Save Swamp Thing.
That was a good show.
That was a cool show.
Other DC stuff?
That was all I had.
That was all your... Okay.
There
I'm
was
really
probably
happy
more.
that Young Justice is getting another season.
Me too. I hope they don't focus on going viral this season. Going viral is not a good thing. And I believe in that.
Agreed. I don't know what you're talking about.
In Young Justice Season 3, every episode they would talk about how they're trending upwards.
Oh, like
on
being,
Twitter?
like being meta.
Yeah.
Stop being
hey,
clever.
the Young Justice, Teen Titans, whatever we are squad is trending over Lex Luthor. Yeah. You're a superhero squad. Of course you're trending. You trend in real life just when you're in a comic book. It's the stupidest thing. It ended good, though, so there was that.
Well, also coming out of Warner Brothers, we got our first look at Dune this week.
Dune. Oh, my gosh.
Interesting. I think all of us think that this movie looks awesome. I'll let you all speak for yourselves, but interesting song choice for this trailer.
Did you see why they picked that?
Oh no, I didn't.
So Pink Floyd, who did the song, was originally supposed to make the score for Dune, David Lynch's Dune. So it's a reference to that. I still don't think it was a great song choice.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool reference. But, like, it wasn't necessary.
No.
It kind of takes you out a little bit.
And it's nothing like nothing like what the soundtrack's gonna sound like. We're not doing a Suicide Squad thing here.
Oh, gosh. I hope not. But
yeah, that looks awesome.
I really want to know what Tyler has to say, honestly, because he's read the book.
You don't want to know what I have to say. It's not all positive.
Tyler's scared.
No, I'm not actually. I'm not worried at all. It's exactly what I imagined it would look like. So I'm too excited. I can't even talk about it. I got emotional watching the trailer. It's like, this is stupid.
Normalized practical sets. Everything looked so gorgeous. Even the CG stuff like the sandworm. But to like be out in the desert instead of just like green.
Yeah.
One thing, so
Green screen again.
I will
It's
say
on
this.
Aquaman desert.
Yeah. I will say this. these people, if it's not clear in the trailer, there are powers. Like there are some mystical elements to it. So it's equal parts mysticism and technology. So if you're not getting that from the trailer, be prepared. It's going to be pretty jarring if you don't know
crazy.
that. It's going to get wild. I was really curious to see how they would do the blue eyes, and I think I like it. I think it's okay.
What do you think about their like little shields? Don't they have like over shields or something? That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, and those come into play later. I guess when they use the shields, the worms detect you easier. So
high risk, high reward.
In the desert, you'll see a lot of times where they won't use their shields.
But then they could die in the desert because
they're
not wearing their.
Oh, people are going to
suit.
die in the desert. There's going to be a lot of people dying in the desert. And
good.
And maybe at Paul's hands.
He's going to karate chop.
So the group that Zendaya's with is like some tribe. I won't spoil too much, but they're pretty ruthless people. And Paul is going to get intermingled.
You don't fall in love. He's like, I love you, Zendaya.
I'll be curious to see how they do
Romeo
that.
and Juliet vibes.
I want to kiss you.
Hey.
Out of dream.
I'll see how. I'm curious to see how they handle all of that.
Yeah.
I want to kiss you, but I got my hand in this box and it hurts. Ouch. Ouch.
What else we got news-wise? Dune looks good. That's all.
Dune looks freaking good. I'm hyped.
I'll be excited to see it in 2021.
Yeah, that's not going on in December.
Straight to HBO Max.
Oh my good. I would find someone with a projector to watch that.
That won't happen, but they are getting the Dune show spinoff.
Yeah,
That's true.
So it does kind of
true.
make sense.
So I'm gonna stay on Dune. Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
No.
So like,
all good.
a lot of people like watching that trailer again, having read the book. Like, I kind of want to read the next book now because I just want to go back into that world.
Is that Messiah?
Yeah, and apparently Dune Messiah is actually good. Apparently the first 3 are good, and then everything else sucks after that. But I just want to spend more time with Paul.
Mm-hmm.
He's an interesting character because he's not. Timothy Chalamet could not have been casted better. I'll say that. I'm
It helps,
very
too, that he's
excited.
one of the best actors working today,
Yeah.
which is all I needed. Like, oh yeah, I saw Little Women. Movie was fine. He was great.
He's great in everything, man.
And Josh Brolin's a great cast for Gurney Halleck. Like I love it. Duncan Idaho for Momoa. At first I didn't like it. I love it now. Like it's well casted. I think Denny's gonna crush this one. I don't think anybody should be concerned.
We need to watch Prisoners in Sicario so you can see those. You'll be even more hyped. I love those movies.
Okay, I'll move into other movie news. Sorry. Jonathan Majors of Lovecraft Country fame is evidently casted in Ant-Man 3. A lot of rumors about who he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most popular one is Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
Is he a kangaroo? I don't know anything about Kang the Conqueror.
He's a time-traveling
He's a
villain.
time traveler, yes. So more time travel? He's like from way in the future.
It would
think
it would fit into Ant-Man though with the quantum realm and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know if this is true. I'm just not as smart with Marvel.
I wonder if you're gonna say what I think you're gonna say.
I think he's like way down the line descendant of Reed Richards.
Kang?
Yeah. Who's actually who I'm hoping he's like the Reed Richards cameo, how they use Spider-Man or Black Widow, or people like, we're introducing the first Fantastic Four movie in this movie, especially since Peyton Reed wants to make a Fantastic Four movie.
That'd be cool.
But also, if it's an Ant-Man movie and it's Kang, I will be disappointed. However, Ant-Man 3 is rumored to introduce the Young Avengers.
I was gonna say that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Because Kang is a Young Avengers villain.
That would be okay. But Kang vs. Ant-Man, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Well, DC had to have the idea first.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because Marvel steals all their ideas from DC.
Yeah. Important to know.
Oh my gosh.
The salt is real.
James Gunn is a sleeper agent making the Suicide Squad, and he's just stealing all the ideas and giving them to James Gunn. Didn't you guys hear? Oh my gosh. People are so stupid.
Yeah. No,
Any other movie news?
but Jonathan Majors is great.
Yes.
I like the casting.
Great
He's-
cast.
he's fantastic.
Choice. Can't wait to see what he's doing.
I know Brett really wants to talk about this news story.
Uh,
Or is there other
I have
movie
one
news?
more movie thing. Did we already talked about Wonder Woman? The Flash movie restarting everything. That was kind of something that came out of fandom this weekend.
They're hitting the inverse.
They're hitting the turnstile.
Inversion button. Yeah.
But Barry will remember everything, and that will help kind of set the story straight for other characters.
What a weird way to be talking about
Look,
this, though.
It's weird because they've been saying this whole time that they're introducing the multiverse. Now they're like, we're gonna restart.
It's just. Yeah.
And I
do
mean,
both.
they're gonna do both. but
Start
it's-
everything by creating a multiverse.
Right. It just, I don't know. It's a weird way to do the Flash solo movie. I feel like they're putting too much into it.
DC's
make a
never
good-
put too much into a movie before.
Let's just make a good Flash movie.
Yeah.
Don't make the whole
Yeah.
universe ride on the Flash's shoulders.
Agreed.
I just think that's a lot to do for the first time we're going to get the Flash on the big screen.
Yep.
But I don't know. I trust Andy Muschietti to handle it well.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Can we move on to gaming?
yeah, you want to talk
Yes.
about that Immortals game?
Phoenix Rising.
Yeah.
No.
Formerly known as Gods, and
Gods and
Monsters.
Monsters.
You want to know about the Borderlands 3 is getting a free next-gen upgrade this fall,
Wow.
right?
Yeah. Sorry, I hated it. I did not like that game.
I don't know. It's got to be for someone, right?
My brother loves Borderlands.
Stupid. So there is a big story. Do you guys have any gaming news other than...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why don't you hit your next game?
Well, we kind of joked about Immortals Phoenix Rising. That's the new title for Gods and Monsters. People have had hands-on. Apparently, it's Assassin's Creed meets Breath of the Wild. You have a game. Speaking of Breath of the Wild, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity was announced, which is a Breath of the Wild prequel. I don't like Hyrule Warriors games, so I won't play this, but I will definitely read some spark notes on the story and move on from it.
Yeah.
Is there actually going to be a story?
I think they
Did the
hear,
first one have a
I
story?
think they hear that criticism, and I think that's what this is.
Ah.
But that's all I got. Oh, PS5 showcase September 16th.
Yeah, like
Where they're going to reveal prices and stuff.
maybe by the
Wake
time
up,
you've
Link.
listened to this,
I just threw you an oop.
but I'm not ready.
It's okay. All right.
But I'm not ready because I know we're gonna spend time on it. So I wanted to just also say that Project xCloud is actually launching tomorrow for real. It's coming out of beta,
I thought it's the 15th?
On
Or is it
iPhone?
15th
Oh, wow. Nice.
on Android,
I think I have it.
and with 150 games, over 150 games.
Oh man.
So
I downloaded something for it
Tetris
at one
1
point.
through
That's-
150.
yes. So that's pretty exciting. If you have an Android device, I'm gonna actually have to steal Tyler's phone now. I won't know how to get into it, but
I don't have a code on it.
oh, okay,
That's good to know.
super easy.
Yeah. Have at it.
But yeah, then we have the big one, which is Tyler mentioned PlayStation is having a thing next week. Xbox had a thing last week where, by have a thing,
They tweeted.
they tweeted out that Xbox Series X and Series S are coming out on November 10th. We got to see the Series S, how small it is. It's tiny. It's very tiny. It's it's got a little black disc on it for cooling.
Little vent.
Little vent.
Little vent.
And so the Series X coming in at $499, which is, I think, kind of what most people expected. We're maybe hoping for a little lower, but
It came in right where I needed it
that's
to.
where
So-
yeah. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, the fact that the One X launched 2.5-3 years ago
At
at that price
yeah.
point, this is exactly where I thought it would be. The big surprise though is the Series S coming in at $299.
Yeah.
$2.99. Are they out of their mind?
I hate you.
I've been waiting all week to make that joke.
Since last Tuesday, right?
Oh yeah. Where are my Kansas people at?
I think. I imagine you'll get into the financing thing that they're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Okay.
But if you want to mention
you
it,
got
go
it,
ahead.
man.
Bengals
You
just in
got it.
Kansas.
Yeah. So
Okay. that's
in
good.
addition to the fact that you can just
been
purchase
last week.
these outright, Microsoft much like Apple and a lot of phone places these days, are allowing you to finance these over the course of 2 years. The Xbox Series S, the cheaper one at $300, you get the Xbox and you get Game Pass Ultimate, which gives you access to 100 games to stream.
And EA Play.
EA Play is going to be a part of that. And also the Project xCloud, which we mentioned earlier. You have access to all that stuff, and Xbox Live. So you get basically all of that for $24.99, $25 a month as a payment.
You're going to spend a lot more than $300 on that, though.
But actually, when you do
after the Ultimate and everything?
After the Ultimate stuff, it actually comes out, you're actually paying less for it. It's like, it's not much, it's like $20.
Sorry, that seems like a lot more. But
I spaced off. I was thinking about our xCloud movement we did.
And so then the same thing with the Series X. You can finance that for $35 a month and get Xbox Live, the Game Pass, and the xCloud.
how much is Game Pass Ultimate originally?
$15.
Just curious.
See? So do your math over there, Tyler. So you take 15
Stop yelling at me,
times
dude.
24.
15. Uh-oh. I don't want to rate you, calculator.
Now minus that from your 600 that you had calculated earlier, right?
240.
So your $300 machine is $240 when you take out the subscription stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're actually paying less for your machine overall. Now they're locking you into that model for 2 years.
Guaranteed monies.
That's why they're willing to take that hit there. But I just think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Microsoft taking a hit.
I mean, it's not. Yeah.
Got their key out.
So yeah, so it'll be really interesting to
it's
see.
right here.
What do you guys? The Series S, a little less powerful. Obviously, for that price point, they've had to cut back on some of the features. They're not aiming for the true 4K. They're aiming for 1440 with the ability to upscale.
I
to
can't
4K.
have 24K?
You can't have the
heck?
highest of the
Man.
highs.
24K on 24 TVs all lined up.
Ooh boy, that's a lot of Ks.
It'd probably be a big headache.
Yeah.
Too much brightness.
Can't imagine your power bill, what your power bill would be. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting. Did either of you? Did this change your purchasing plans? Either of you, the $399, and convincing either of you to go down from the X? Because both of you are planning on getting an X. Any of you convinced to go down to an S, or you're still happy with your?
I'll get an X. I want the disc drive.
Yeah,
I want the 4K.
Yeah, that's the big difference maker for me is the disc drive.
That will be the player.
Yeah.
Yeah, be your 4K player, man.
Yep. Very true. Very true.
For my 4K TV.
Same for me. Do we want to make quick predictions since it's in 48 hours we'll know what the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Digital are going to be? We'll make some predictions now that we know $499, $299.
Sure.
Take into consideration that what we've heard from the PS5 Digital is that it's not less powerful. That it is still a PS5. It is just discless.
You go first.
Okay, I think the digital will come in at $450, and I think the PS5 proper is going to come in at $599.
$150 difference?
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap! I
think the PS5's coming in at $600. They've been prepping us for it to come in high. They've been talking a lot about. We offer a premium experience. They're really talking their system up. They're gonna come in high.
I was thinking 600 too.
Because they were supposed to announce this last week.
Yeah.
And then Xbox announced it that morning, and they're like, we're doing a showcase next week. Like, they really started to backpedal. So I think they're coming in high.
I thought 600 too, but I'm gonna go proper $5.99, discless $4.99.
I think they have to.
Oh my goodness, Simon!
I think they have to drive it down an extra 50 because of the S. Because I don't think it'll compete.
I think they should. I don't think they will though.
Is Sony gonna pull a Nolan and get greedy?
Are they gonna pull a PS3 and get greedy?
Maybe.
So
PS3 only $2,000.
I think,
And it'll blow your car up and catch it on fire. What?
I think you guys are probably right at $5.99.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, just out of a attempt at good PR,
$1, Bob. $1.
they do.
$2.99.
No. $2.99.
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, dude.
I think for the proper.
Oh, okay.
The proper one is going to be $5.49, and the digital will be $4.49.
Dude, imagine if your digital console is $50 less than Xbox's premium console.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, I mean, I feel like the S is as much as a Switch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can do like 1,000 more % things more than a Switch can do
This is what
for the same price.
So
Granted, it can't go on in your car, but that to me is what everybody's gonna get.
this is like, and I think this just reaffirms what Microsoft and Xbox are trying to do, and that's to get consoles in people's hands.
Mm-hmm.
They came in, prices are low.
Yeah.
Everybody thought they were going to wait till Sony announced. I think they got tired of waiting, and they just were like, we're just going to put it where we want it.
I think they thought, wait, ours is $2.99. Sony's not gonna do that. Are we kidding ourselves?
This is an easy decision.
Yeah, I think this
What
is.
were we sweating over?
I think Xbox nailed
It's hot out there.
their pricing model this go round. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it'll be really interesting to see if, because we don't know 100% for sure that the PS5 digital isn't less powerful. I suppose there is a chance that maybe it is less powerful or it has less storage, although the funny part about with the PS5 architecture is that they only have an 812 gigabyte hard drive in there anyway. No, 864 or something like that. Like, they can't even put in a 1 terabyte because of how their architecture is built. So for them to go down to even lower on storage space will hurt even more than, because the Xbox Series S
It's 1 terabyte.
no is 512.
The S.
The
sorry.
S, yeah.
Too many, all these series and stuff.
Yeah, Simon is over there pulling his hair out for some reason. Why are you sad, buddy?
Because the Xbox isn't out yet.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, November 10th. My guess is that PS5 probably coming out a week after. November 17th. That'd be my guess. Just in time for holiday.
You think there'll be a Black Friday deal?
No. No.
That Xbox is launching with Destiny 2 Beyond Light. So you know I'm hyped.
Did you guys hear those rumors about Microsoft trying to buy Bungie?
Yeah, and I
That's
immediately
so
went.
stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a group of people who believe it, of course.
The first reply
I mean, you saw the James Gunn
was
stuff today.
Pete Parsons, the CEO of Bungie, was like, I don't know if he said not true or false or whatever, but just like,
I think he
straight
just
up,
tweeted
no.
out, "This is not true."
This is not true. Yeah. And then their
It made me chuckle when I saw it. I was like, what?
their head of communications or marketing, I think it's communications. He was like, if you're gonna make fake news stories up about Bungie, at least use our current logo, because it wasn't even their current logo that they were using.
Dude,
Oh my
Bungie's
God.
PR team is hilarious.
Yeah, they're great. Oh, well, exciting news.
Yo, I'm hyped.
Did you guys see that
For these
Nintendo is
consoles.
asking publishers to make 4K games?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I had not seen that.
For their non-4K consoles?
For their rumored Switch Pro.
What a time to put out a Switch Pro.
Yeah.
Switch Pro is going to be like...
Do it next spring. Stay away from this holiday.
Switch Pro is going to be more than a PS5. Probably. Have the capabilities in Xbox Series S.
It's a handheld Xbox Series S at
With Game Pass Ultimate.
at $2,000.
You can buy a Switch Pro with Game Pass Ultimate for $34 a month for 2 years.
Oof.
Also, in other news, Xbox buys Nintendo. What? And resells the Nintendo PlayStation.
Is xCloud coming to the Switch ever?
I made that prediction this year, and it doesn't look like it.
Oh,
4K
speaking of
games
predictions,
for the Switch Pro.
This was a news story that I just totally forgot about. The Walking Dead is ending, and one of my predictions is going to be canceled, and it's getting one more final season. So that's one off for me that won't count. Oh well.
Yeah.
That's okay. There's 10 off for me that won't happen. So.
Well, as
Wonder Woman's not even going to come out this year.
Oh, man. Well, as we begin our show tonight, let's talk about what we did this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
Me either.
I played a little Apex. I finished up rewatching The Office for the 18th time. And sadly didn't get around to watching either the latest episode of Lovecraft Country or Raised by Wolves, which
Which there's two.
I need to get up on those today
They
or
put two
tomorrow
out?
or sometime.
I think so. Either that or I was
One
behind in a weird way.
It's possible.
Oh.
Oh, but real quick,
I think they put out two.
exciting news. I bought a new computer. So I did spend money still.
Did you get it yet?
No,
Are
it
all of our
doesn't come
sound-
until like the 22nd.
Are all of our sound issues going to disappear
No.
in the cloud?
See, there's these things that are between us and the computer, Luke. I don't know if you know this. These are called microphones.
What?
And then the microphones, they have these cords. And
Mine's
the cords go into a sound mixer. And the sound mixer goes into the computer. And there could be any number of things between those things
That's a
that are
coaster.
causing issues.
Yeah, that's a coaster.
It's a coaster on
Oh.
a computer.
Yeah.
Hey, what's this
Point.
button do?
That ends the stream. Actually, it doesn't. Push it.
I
Push
don't
it. I dare you.
I don't want to.
I
Don't
dare
do
you,
it.
Tyler.
I don't want to.
Do it,
You
Tyler.
coward. Push the button.
No.
Push the button.
What?
I'll go since I did watch those two shows.
What's in the...
I Lovecraft Country episode 5. I did not like it.
I couldn't tell by your text. Were you scared?
I was trying to not watch, but I want to know what's happening.
Was it Jekyll and Hyde Park?
Yeah. It's the whole episode pretty much
Yeah.
follows Ruby,
Woo!
a character I don't enjoy in the show. Which was unfortunate, and there's... Gosh, this episode was just graphic all over the place, and it was just really unfortunate.
Was it Ruby or Hillary?
It's Hillary.
We'll talk about it.
It was Ruby who took the potion, I guess, if that's what you're asking.
Kind of.
Okay. This episode just... It was too much for me. It showed a lot. Oof. And I don't like the character that was the feature. I want to spend time with Letty and Atticus.
Yeah.
Tick.
They're the most interesting part of the show.
Especially after the way episode 4 ends.
Yeah.
And then they've 2-3 scenes. The rest is with Ruby.
Yeah. That's how the book works too, but because it's an anthology book.
Yeah.
so
Doesn't
it's-
mean it should.
No. I don't. Yeah. I
Hoping-
haven't watched this week, so
Hoping next week is better. Maybe you guys will like it. I don't know.
it was one of the most interesting chapters in the book.
The bit where the actual Jekyll Hyde stuff, really cool, really awesome practical effect that they use. That was cool. I watched episodes 4 and 5 of Raised by Wolves. I actually haven't talked about this show at all because I hadn't started it yet. Only Brett had mentioned it. I love this show.
Yeah, and you just
I
blew through
love
it.
this show. I think it's incredible. I think the androids that they're different from normal androids. I find them super interesting, especially with how much they're into just doing away with religion. And now you're at an important show where one of them mentions their creator, and the father's like, "You sound like one of the religious people," and she's like, "Oh, you're crazy." It's like, oh man, this is getting interesting. The end of episode 4 has some great music and some really cool shots, and it made me go, "What?" at the end, and I loved it. I really like that show. show. But the main thing that I watched this week, I started it, haven't finished it. They just added it to Netflix. I started watching Cobra Kai.
Nice.
Now, hyperbole, obviously. This is probably the greatest reboot Cole ever created. And I'm putting Blade Runner on that table too.
Wow.
It is like
High praise.
It's got crazy good reviews.
it is so good.
I've heard nothing but great things. YouTube TV, baby.
Yeah, and now Netflix,
Now
is
Netflix
doing
has
it.
Yeah.
If you have Netflix, go watch it. And it explains stuff that happens in the old Karate Kid movies. Like, it has footage from the movies. So, like,
In the
I
whole
haven't
cast?
seen those movies in 10, 15 years, probably.
I was gonna ask you, do I need to go back and watch the movies again?
It might
They're worth watching.
make it better. They're good.
Yeah.
If you don't know about it, the show follows Johnny Lawrence, bad guy from the Karate Kid movies,
After he lost.
antagonist, and Ralph Macchio's character, Daniel, and they're 30, 40 years older now. And there's still this tension. Johnny really hasn't recovered since his high school downfall. Daniel's doing great. Wife, kids, great business, rich. And now we're coming to a clash again, and we're doing it karate style. It's really funny, great acting, fantastic music, awesome score. I'm loving it. It's a booyah. And I haven't finished it. I think people should watch it. It's really good.
How many seasons have you watched?
Not one.
Oh,
I've watched like 7 episodes.
Gotcha.
There's 2 seasons.
And how long are the episodes? 40 minutes?
30 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's really digestible then.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
It's really easy to watch. You can just sit down, watch an episode, and be like, yeah. You can keep going, or you can turn it off. This is really pleasant to watch, and it's also really good. Like, well made.
Yeah.
Not just, oh, it's funny. Could not give that enough more high praise. I'm really loving that show.
Sweet.
It is also, like I called it a reboot, Cole. It is telling the story of Karate Kid
Right.
through their kids, which I think is really cool because I mean, there's kids today probably haven't seen the Karate Kid. It's a great movie, or they saw the Will Smith,
sorry,
Jane
kid.
Smith one. Also, Will Smith is a producer on the show. I
Nice.
thought that was super interesting. I'm
Interesting.
waiting for Jane Smith to come in season 3 and be like, I'm gonna kick all your butts. I want to go home.
Well done. I'll just quickly move through my stuff. I went to Oklahoma City and saw our friend of the pod, Lepke.
Yeah.
Spent Saturday down there and hung out, played some top golf. Went out and saw Oklahoma City at night. Good time, good hangs, much needed. And then I watched football. Yeah. Like all weekend, as much as I could.
You got it. Good catch.
Did. The Washington football team won an opener. I for the first time in a really long time. So that was really cool. The Washington football team is the only NFC East team to win this weekend.
First place, baby.
First place, short-lived.
Playoff bound.
I don't know about that.
Unbeatable.
Ye of little faith.
No, I just don't. I don't know. I'll talk to you guys about my feelings about the team off air. But no, it was good to watch. It was a lot of fun. I don't think I've ever rooted to see the defense on the field more than the offense. But our defense is so fun to watch. 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 picks. That's incredible no matter who you're playing. So, no, I'm glad football's back. It sounds like their COVID protocols are working. There was no new positives. It's incredible that they're able to pull this kind of thing off. I hope it continues in the right direction, and I hope those players really, think about their actions so that they don't do anything detrimental to their teams.
Yeah.
The world's better when football's in it. That's my opinion. And I think it's nice to have a little bit of normalcy back. So.
Agreed.
Cool.
And I'm reading a new book. I don't know if I mentioned that. Autonomous. Did I mention that already?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I'm reading a new book called Autonomous. It's a heist book. about taking down Big Pharma in the year 2144.
Nice.
Cool.
I work in pharma. It's interesting.
Not nice.
It's pretty cool. It's told from two perspectives. So
Is this a heist book or a research manual? No.
both? It's told from the perspective of Jack, who is depending on how you view it, is our protagonist, and through Paladin, who might be a protagonist. They're both against each other, but it's told from both perspectives. So each chapter alternates which perspective you're reading from. It's kind of cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
So you see what the good guy's doing, you see what the bad guy's doing. And really that declaration is up to you.
That's pretty cool.
That's it.
Everything you guys did?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, what's up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another episode of the What the Fanboy Show. We're live here again. My name is Luke. This is Tyler.
I am Tyler, and to my right, as always, the beautiful Brett Eitzen.
I am so glad I'm here today.
Yeah.
This episode is going to be weird because we're going to be doing the whole thing backwards.
Yeah.
I don't really know if we're going to be able to do it, but we'll see.
Unlike
We'll be
anything
fine.
we've ever done before.
Unprecedented.
Yeah. Well,
And I mean, what have you guys been up to?
Tyler, you can now push the button.
see ya.
Bye. Or hello.
Hello.
Hello. No, I told you could push the button. See, I have a fail safe.